What I'm going to do is give you advice. Eat raw ginger.
I've been doing that.
Yeah, it tastes like it should do something.
Yeah, I've been taking it.
Coin or con?
Welcome to Not Another Crypto Podcast.
I'm Angus Maidment.
I am Jason Allen Scott. It's Monday. It's the one day a week we're allowed to say what day it is because it's coin or con.
Yes, and so on this very Monday, Jason, you're sounding a bit blocked up. How are you?
I'm suffering still because I have no immune system, so a flu lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, unfortunately, as opposed to 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. I've heard that. I mean, I've had the flu. As I think I was telling you.
When did you have the flu?
Whenever I get the flu, though, I always get it quite early on. So people
sure.
always give me hassle. They're like, so I'm like dying in bed.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, don't be so dramatic. You've just got a cold, whatever. And then, a month later, somebody else will get the flu. They'll be like, oh, it's really bad, actually. I was like, well, should I just give you loads of abuse for it now?
You should. It passes on like the flu.
Yeah. So, but I'm not going to give you abuse for it, Jason. What I'm going to do is give you advice. Eat raw ginger.
I've been doing that.
Yeah, it tastes like it should do something.
Yeah, I've been taking it with wasabi and sushi rolls.
Wow.
But it is working. I do think it's not working. I have no immune system. I just have to wait till it's over.
Yeah. No, you just eat with the skin on if possible. Just eat the root.
Ginger with the skin on.
It's hardcore, but it tastes pretty intense. It just feels like it should do something.
Yeah, I will do it again. I've been taking hot toddies every night. So that's been fun.
Has that got like whiskey in it or something?
Yeah, so it's whiskey, lemon, honey, and lemsip.
That
works. That knocks
potent.
you out. Yeah, it's pretty good. Can we just do a rule now? If anyone's sick in this pod, I can't come to pod day. Can we just clear that up right now?
What do you mean?
I mean,
he's got no immune
I've
system.
got no immune system.
Oh, right. Okay.
Anyone's even slightly sick, it hits me and then I'm down.
Condition.
I have multiple sclerosis, so I have no immune system.
Right,
So,
okay. I didn't know that.
yeah, I have actually mentioned on this show.
Yes.
But nonetheless, I take a pill twice a day, which suppresses my immune system. So
Wow, okay. Right,
Yeah.
so if anyone is sick, then please...
Mostly you is who I'm looking at when I say this. I'm not worried about everyone else in this pod. You apparently get it quickly, and then, like you said a couple of seconds ago. So if you
I
stop
don't
feeling
think I've been here
don't
when
bring
I've
it.
been particularly sick.
Good. Well, I'm very
I don't think so
thankful for
anyway.
that.
So, the hot toddies sound delicious.
Oh, so
However,
good.
I 40 minutes ago from now have just hit 30 days with absolutely no
You've been
alcohol
doing
intake.
sober living.
I've been doing sober October. So
Well done. I drink to make everyone else more interesting. So I can't imagine not drinking.
yeah, I mean, sure, it is a bit boring, but once you get used to it,
Yeah.
it's felt pretty good. So just wanted to mention
Will
that.
you stay with it? Will you keep it going?
I'm certainly going to drink on Halloween, the 31st, because we're
of
doing
course.
our blockchain Halloween party.
Yes.
In
Nothing's
Shoreditch.
more scary than crypto. Is that the tagline?
Well, it should be.
Be afraid.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. Your money is not safe.
A range of spooky and ghoulish investment opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite good. That's something for the Pink Fund.
Spookulator.
Which reminds us, Pink is our new headline sponsor for this wonderful show. Pink is all about people-powered learning and investing differently.
I think that it's like think pink, invest different or something, wasn't it?
I like that, yeah. And it's Pink spelled P-Y-N-K, just like the Hope You Think, T-H-Y-N-K.
That is so
Just
startup-y, isn't
it's
it?
so startup-y. It's like, it must have an I.O. website. Does it have an I.O.? It does have an I.O.
Oh, wow.
Our producer's eyes just went like Bambi, and he was like, yes, actually, it does have an
I've heard
I.O. website.
.co is the new hot domain name to have now, though.
Really? Because it stands for coin offering?
Don't know.
As opposed to when it just used to be co.
Don't know.
Like, and co.
Don't know. It's just a lot of the
Interesting.
startups now have .co.
Well,
.co.
I'm about to buy a domain, so I will make sure to get both .io and .co.
I think .co. Yeah, that's what people have said to me. You know,
I'm gonna look
that's
that up.
the new hot domain
hear
name
that?
to have. So
That's me writing it down. It's a good one.
okay. So anyway, speaking of coin offerings,
Yes,
shall we do coin or con?
I would be proud.
Okay, so I've got a couple of absolute belters for you today, Jason.
Go for it. Hit me with the first one.
A or B?
I love how this. It's always A when I hear it because it's the first.
No, but I'm
gonna
saying
say-
I've got
sorry.
two. I've assigned them A and B in my mind. So you're
I'd
gonna
like A
choose.
first, please. 'cause
Okay.
Last week I went with 2 first.
Okay, right. I'm gonna.
Okay.
Alphanumeric.
Alphanumeric. If this is your first time playing Coin or Con, firstly, welcome to my favorite part of the segment of the show, or favorite segment of the show. But more importantly, it's a part of the show that you can play along. All you do is listen to both stories, both white papers, both ideas and ideologies, and then you decide which one is true, a real coin, and which one is a con, a shyster, a mistake, a flim-flam, Fabregazi, fairy dust. So that's how it works. Listen carefully as he tries to bewilder us with his big words.
Okay, so you've chosen choice A, was it? So we are talking about this project called MVL, okay?
MVL.
MVL, and
Writing
that
this down.
stands for Mass Vehicle Ledger.
Ooh, I like that.
It says, here we have a trust-driven ecosystem where all participants' vehicle data is transparently exchanged at fair value and all vehicle-related services are connected in one.
This is genius. If it's where I think this is going.
MVL connects all vehicle-related services into one ecosystem based on trustworthy data. Participants who provide accurate and transparent data related to vehicle management, driving, repair, transportation services will receive fair rewards. MVL ecosystem is a new blockchain-based ecosystem created for all participants to trade with other participants.
Okay, so this could be phenomenal, right? Because for one, you could no longer roll back the clocks in a car. So that whole scam that people do in secondhand car industries would disappear.
I didn't know that
Two-
was a scam. So.
Oh, it's a massive scam. So you get a car, 300,000 miles on the clock, you roll it back, so it's got 10,000 miles on the clock, and you're like, oh, I'm getting a good car. Right, Mike?
Yeah, that's an old thing. I don't know if you can still. Can you still do that?
Oh, good point. I don't know. I'm
I
old.
mean, it's digital. I mean, there's a lot of
yeah,
it's
but you can now
digital.
plug in those
Yeah,
digital...
maybe.
Yeah, so you
I don't
can.
know.
Maybe they
I've
made
seen
it
that.
harder to do it, but
They would have made it harder. Okay, but VIN numbers. Another
Oh,
thing, when
you
a
could
car's
do
stolen,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off and just run the car.
run the car backwards. Yes, I think that can work.
that still counts, yeah?
That still counts. I mean, those that haven't watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, take a day off and watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Life's pretty short. Sometimes you just got to stop and smell the flowers. Okay, but you could do VIN numbers. Now, one of the big issues, right, if you talk to historians about when did cars replace horses, is the fact that we don't actually know how many cabs are in the world because there was no VIN numbers on cabs. And during the Great Depression, they used to put a car in front of a horse in front of a car, and they'd call them hover wagons. And they were very excited about this new phenomenon. They didn't have to pay petrol. They still got all the pleasures of driving a car, but obviously it was truly horse-powered.
So they didn't have to pay
That's
for
where
petrol.
it came from, horsepower.
No, that's yeah. So there was no.
But so
there was,
we're
because they just
avoided
hooked up the
tax.
car to the horse.
Yeah, but is there no cost associated with running a horse?
It's really cheap to run a horse. Just hay and
Okay.
carrots.
Compare well,
Nice words.
So this is the reason I'm asking is I assume that it's probably more expensive to run a horse now than it is to buy petrol.
Now I do think it would
Today.
be that way around.
But in the
Yeah,
thir-
that's
in-
a good point.
in the
Stable
30s.
costs.
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, I
Hay,
mean, horses are things for
jockeys.
rich people now, right?
Yes, they are. Yeah, certainly swept
Back
around.
in the day,
Back in the day, it was
everyone.
it worked out to what we would consider now. I actually recently looked this up. $250 is how much it would cost for a car and cab in today's money if we were to run that system. And the Amish still do run that system, so just so we know,
crap.
we haven't totally taken it out of the line. So I think it's a genius idea. I think VIN numbers, when cars are stolen, they take cars apart, and obviously how we find them is by looking up the VIN number, which is a number that's attached to the vehicle through its engine, as well as through its chassis, and kind of links everything together. Again, I don't know if that's new cars have VIN, but I'm assuming they do. Our producer says yes, they do. So I like this idea. I think it's genius, and I think the car industry obviously been linked to blockchain and AI and all that. It makes total sense.
Well, yeah. So it's saying that there's going to be trust in data. So when you're renting a car, this is like this
Another good
diagram
one.
with multiple links to it. So when people do repairs on cars and like service
Yeah.
and maintenance, they keep a record of it. Then car rental companies, when they're buying and selling cars, can get more reliable data.
Fantastic.
You can get more reliable data about the car you're renting, and like when you're doing Uber and stuff, or buying and selling cars yourself, or getting insurance or that. Like,
Would that include drivers? Sorry, you mentioned Uber a second ago. Would that include who drove the car, like the actual owner of that car?
Well, yeah, I think it's like they use it to prove to have trustworthy data about who they are, right? So if they don't abuse their passengers or whatever, then that'll show in the system, and then they can be like, hey,
It got dark really quickly.
well, that's a problem with
It is
Uber,
a
right?
problem. It's a massive problem. Yes.
Because you can just get a new Uber account or something, or use somebody
Yeah.
else's or something like that. So I think they've got some
I like it.
some solutions there.
Okay, so far I like all of it. Do we have any famed names in the board or on the board?
I've not looked.
Is there a white paper?
There is a white paper.
Okay. Does their website end on IO?
It does end on IO.
Oh, there's a lot of things saying this could be a real deal. Does it have a zippy tagline?
Not really. I think I
Oh.
read the tagline to you already. So
Which was the motor vehicle ledger.
yeah,
It wasn't very stingy.
Well, that's just the initial.
That's just the idea of it.
initialization.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Okay.
Well,
I'm liking it.
It's saying trust driven.
Nice.
Oh no, I do like
like
that.
that.
I
That's
do. I'm
better.
writing that down.
Trust
That is
driven.
good. And it's 2 words, which is genius. Okay. At the moment, I'm loving MVL. I'm liking option 1. Could I hear option B,
Yes.
please?
So this is we were speaking about CO network domains earlier. This is an interesting one because it's called co.co.
Oh, Coco.
Coco.
Yeah.
The Coco network.
Oh, I like that.
And it actually came from their website because they've got co.co.
And they thought we should do something around that because it's valuable real estate.
So it's called Coco and it's the CO network.
What does that even mean, a CO network? Like for C-suite directors or like for people who own
No,
companies?
that's just the name. It's like the
Oh,
capital
got
C,
you.
capital O network.
Oh,
So
CO, or dyslexic people.
yeah, so it's called Coco, the CO network. But I think you're maybe supposed to call it the Co network, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
And so it's saying the tagline is co-working simplified.
Oh, again with the 2 words. If there's a hyphen
It's
in co-working.
snappy.
Co-working simplified.
And
Okay.
so then the kind of intro paragraph is saying co is an abbreviation for community.
Is it though? Oh, yeah, it's really a company. But yeah, okay, let's go with that, I think. Well, I know Mike's going to, in the notes on the website, it's going to say, and Jason smugly said,
Well, no,
that
that's the
stands
thing
for
though. Like,
company.
so
And then he was wrong.
What happens when you do co-working or co-living or whatever?
Yeah. I suppose that, because I always thought co comes with a hyphen if it's living or space or work.
Well,
Whereas just co is company.
That,
Like,
look,
that's what it stands for.
what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
Is co is an abbreviation for community.
Got you.
That's what they're saying to
Okay.
us.
They're owning it.
They're owning that.
Exactly. They're
I like
giving
it.
us that as a starting off point.
Got you.
And so that's CO, big C, small o, because it's the start of the sentence. But then, and at CO, which is like their company,
Yeah.
and at CO, we believe co is the future. Co-working, co-living, co-commuting. Our network will be the platform for the decentralized, shared future.
Okay. I like that.
And so then they've got
Clever
this
wording.
kind of
Mike shaking his head like he doesn't believe that's a real thing.
they've got this kind of diagram here, right? And it's they've got the co-network in the middle, which connects all these things together, and they have kind of a splash that says co-working. There's like co-living as well, and co-commuting.
Couldn't it be cohabitation?
I was just thinking that. They can just add a bunch of things.
Well, yeah. So, but this is the thing. So we click on co-working, and it's like there's pictures of like people in these nice.
But are there pictures?
Well, yeah, no. There's pictures of
Okay.
people in like nice,
Just checking.
like co-working areas. Like you've been to, like you know.
Yeah, WeWork.
WeWork, for
Old
example.
Space.
Yeah, so there's like people in like these nice kind of well decorated areas with
Yeah,
plants
yeah.
and stuff, having a coffee and talking about business stuff.
I like it.
And there's some stats about like, you know, the increase in uptake of co-working.
And
People
how have
working
they
from
linked
home
this
and-
to the crypto blockchain market?
Uh,
Are they using a coin? So interesting enough. there is
sorry.
something-
So I was on this diagram.
Oh, sorry.
I was looking at that and I clicked onto the co-working thing.
Got you.
So now we're back to the diagram, and then if we go down, right. So the CO like network token, right?
Yeah.
And so this is they've got kind of an infographic here as well about how the token fuels the network, right? So the idea is that you can earn tokens, right, as a user for sharing things that you have, right? So if you want to do cohabitation, for example, right, you can let people live in your house for
Yeah.
tokens, right? But then you
So
can
like Airbnb, but with tokens.
sort of, but then you can use the tokens that you get from letting someone live in your house or like stay on your couch for a couple of nights to then use at like you know co-working spaces. So if you want to go, if you're like at the moment you need to buy a monthly subscription somewhere, right?
Yeah.
At the very least, if you want to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
co-work somewhere. Whereas now they've got this system, right, where and so this is something that they this is one of their things that they're going to market with. There's one of the
Got you.
bits of the product they already have made. You can go to work at a co-working space and pay like for the time that you're there.
Yeah.
So if you want to work from home 1 day a week from your job, and then you go to the co-working space, or if you need inspiration on a Saturday or whatever, you're going to get loads of work done. You go there and you pay for like the hours that you spend there, rather than getting a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
But you can do that with tokens as well.
Totally.
And so the idea is this gives value to the token as well, because there's a big thing about the token here. And it's like, if you buy the tokens now, you can get them for a cheap price. And then, so the idea is you spend like $1,000 on tokens now, and that'll be like co-working for like 3 years or whatever.
Interestingly, this is very similar to a company called Primal Base that uses tokenization to run co-op spaces. And we are going to get the founder of Primal Base to come in and explain his business. But he launched this very idea, I want to say 2 years ago. And in that span has opened up in London, in Amsterdam, in Hong Kong, in Shanghai. That's it. I think there's 4 locations. And he was saying people love this idea because it gives a utilitarian concept to the coin. It gives the coin value instantly because you can use it immediately for other things. You can use it to buy stuff in the co-op space. You can use it to rent other things. And if you buy it now, it has a value that is stronger because as people come on. So if you only bought for Amsterdam and you open one in London, you could go to London and use the same coin.
Right, yeah.
So this actually fits perfectly within Primal Base's idea, from what I understand. But
Well, yeah, so, and the idea about Coco as well is they said it all, right? They said Co stands for community.
Correct.
And so what they are
Good idea,
trying to do really is they're using co-working as a kind of platform to build on, to build this kind of idea of this token which you use for sharing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that you can use to exchange it. Because like a lot of the time, the kind of people who share stuff, right, are quite community, like
Driven.
communal.
Yeah.
So like the
100%.
kind of person who would live in a warehouse with 12 other people.
Yes.
The kind of person who would be like, I am going to get a new table, I'll get it on free cycle. And also when they're done with any of their stuff, instead of being like, I'm going to try and sell this for like £5 or £10, they just give it someone else.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Free
easy
cycle.
come, easy go, you know? Like
Yeah.
those kind of people, what they are basically trying to do is they're seeking to kind of connect these people with this token so that, you know, we can find more efficient ways to share things with each other.
I like that.
And so one of the things that it is in closed beta at the moment, right? So it's like they're testing it and they're getting real people to do it, but it's not open to everyone yet, is this idea of co-commuting where you share your transport space if you drive to work.
Like a carpool.
Like a carpool, but you get tokens for it, right?
Got you.
So the idea, I
You're
think,
rewarded for your good behavior.
yeah, and the idea being though as well that, you know, once you have the tokens, you don't really have to spend a whole bunch of money on stuff because it's all just
Inside the ecosystem.
it's this kind of circular economy of just like the tokens going around.
Yeah.
So that's the vision for them, which is a bit hippie, but sure.
I like it.
But still though, it's kind of like it's community focused, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so there you go. And then at the bottom there's a map of where they are so far. So they've got offices in New York and San Francisco, and so they've got co-working spaces in those places, and also Berlin and Rio de Janeiro.
Hello, Rio.
That's
I go to
so
that one.
looks like they're trying to branch out to South America
I like it.
because maybe Primal Base has got the Asian market.
Yeah, well, I remember Amsterdam, I remember Shanghai, I remember Hong Kong, I remember London. I think they've also opened in New York, actually, just thinking about it.
So yeah,
Okay, I like it. I think it's smart.
they have a white paper as well, but I didn't
Ooh.
look at it because they've already finished their fundraising, right? So they raised like $10 million in Ethereum at the time.
Did they really raise $10 million? Or are you just saying that word like some people say $1 million? Like, was it 10 million? Like,
Well, look, on their website, they had a bar that had filled up to the maximum of $10 million.
Okay.
So they said that they raised $10 million on their website.
I'm just looking at some body language here as you say this to see if you actually read that or you just making up some things to make me believe.
Jason,
it's a
I
real
said
thing.
to you last week, you need to stop metagaming.
I am
this
metagaming
game.
this entire game.
That's why I took for the listeners who can't
Yeah,
see this. I
exactly.
turned my laptop away from me because I wouldn't put it past Jason to literally look at the screen.
I have actually.
to
I'm not
see
gonna
what
lie.
I'm reading.
I've looked at Mike's glasses in the hopes that the reflection would tell me if you're seeing an actual pie chart.
Right, well, maybe next week we should let you do Coin or Con, and I'll try
I'm
and
fine
guess
with
which
that. I'm
ones.
100% up for that.
Okay, so you heard it here first. We may well reverse.
We may turn the tables.
Flip the script at some
Flip
point.
the script. I like that.
Right.
Okay, so I'm very confused. I think blockchain and crypto is all about the car world, and I can completely see why it would work. Mostly on the blockchain stuff when it comes to the vehicle stuff. I also think trust-driven is genius, and you wouldn't have come up with that yourself. So that makes me think that's probably
What, the
a real
name?
thing.
Trust driven?
Yeah, that's the tagline.
Oh, the tagline.
The spunky tagline. Yeah.
From-
Whereas co-working simplified, that's something you would have come up with. That's that's right in your wheelhouse. So Coco sounds like
I hope that's a compliment.
sounds like a stripper. So again, I'm thinking
Or a Disney film?
or there is a Coco.
Your mind is always going to these places, Jason.
There's a famous stripper called Coco who's married to Ice-T, and her name is Coco. So there's where I was going with that. That was not a dirty thing. I mean, it obviously was, but not in that way.
Whereas I thought of a Disney film.
You're the Disney films. I'm not aligned. This is a tough one. It's a very, very tough one. I have a winning streak that I'd like to protect. So I'm going to say Coco is for reals, yo. And MVL is... Oh, actually, my theory was the other way around. Coco was not for reals, although it's so obvious and easy. I'm going to say MVL is a... You might be trying to trick me. I'm going to say MVL is not real, that it is a con. And I'm going to say Coco is a real thing because Primal Base is already doing it. So it's a proven model. It's an easy to run. Oh, wait. No. Your eyebrow twitched. I'm turning it around.
Ah, you can't.
I can't. I'm turning it around.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
Fine.
You've already given your answer.
Fine. Damn eyebrow.
Yeah, so and that's why the eyebrow cocked you. Because I got you.
Damn it.
I got you. I made up co.co.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah, well, MVL, trust driven. As you said, it's a
You
good.
wouldn't have come up with that. That was genius.
It's a
strapline.
good
Yeah, it's a
strap
great
line.
strap line.
But so co.co I made up, but it's it's an interesting idea, isn't it? And so I was thinking.
And it exists, so it's a proven idea.
I was thinking I have to go somewhere like a co-working space this week. So
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, hey, maybe we could do this thing. But also it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Like co-working spaces are expensive.
Yeah.
And in my experience, some of them are a bit rubbish. Like they're just cashing in on the fact that a lot of people work freelance now or whatever, and they need somewhere with Wi-Fi and coffee. So like, why don't we put some expensive furniture and they're in charge of £1,000 a month to go and work?
Free cycle furniture. People think it's cool because it's vintage and retro.
Well, look, that's the kind of thing you could do in Berlin, right?
Yes,
you
you
couldn't do it in London. You couldn't do it in Shoreditch because it just cost an extortionate amount for rent, and people in
I
London.
feel like Shoreditch is the geographical world for share, where it costs a fortune to look that cheap and trashy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Well, that would be my dream.
to be share or to work in Shoreditch.
I know. Well, so
Not to
look,
be cheap and trashy. You've got that down.
I really think
Dream.
we should probably be wrapping up now, and I'd love to
Okay.
tell you about my dream
Later on.
later on. So I tell you what, if you listen to you, the listener, can listen to another episode this week where I will be detailing
Malcolm stroke Angus
My junk-
Magnet X.
my junk.
I have a dream.
My junk-based dreams.
I look forward to this.
Yeah.
This will be on the show. Make sure to keep listening.
So
To do that, you should probably subscribe, tell a friend, and give us a 5-star review.
you gotta subscribe, you gotta download, tell your friends
Ting-ting.
about the podcast or whatever, and also if you can give us a 5-star review, that would be great. However, it's quite difficult to give reviews.
Well, I was about to say, could we do an episode where we break down how to do a review?
Maybe, but then also I think people using different platforms and different like browsers or whatever, different devices, it's just gonna get too complicated.
Okay, so maybe we do like an easy guide on our website. Is that possible? Like a copy and paste?
Yeah.
Done. So go to our website, www.notanothercryptoshow.com. Also, notanothercryptopodcast.com, and both of them lead to the same place. And we'll have an easy guide on how to give us 5 stars. And don't forget, we're also giving swag. And if we hit 10,000, we're going to shave off the amazing beard of my co-host.
That's it. All the hair and all the beard is gonna be gone. Also,
and the hair. I like
if
this
you give us a
together.
5-star review, then we will put you in the running to win.
Swag.
So until tomorrow, Jason, this is us signing out.
Take care. Be good. Be kind. Be safe.